Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi, weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, with an update on what we can expect for tomorrow and Friday. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 631-756-1125. They're open for the rest of today, also opening tomorrow, but they will be closing early around noontime, and then reopening Friday morning at 3 a.m. So if you need salt or anything you need to help clean up this winter storm, head to omnitruevalue.com. And also brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini Landscaping at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, 631-957-5106. They will meet all your holiday decorating needs. Wholesale lighting by Giannini. So let's get started here. The first winter storm warnings as of 1 p.m. Eastern Time are up for Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, down into North Carolina. The winter storm watches continue for central and eastern Pennsylvania. That includes south central and southeastern Pennsylvania. Much of New Jersey, except for the coastal counties, New York City, Long Island, the lower and middle Hudson Valley, the Catskills, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and the southernmost counties of the state of Vermont. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through. This is a rather complex event, like many of them have been this winter. We've really, except for the one system back a week or so ago, everything has been sort of long and drawn out. So let's take a look at what to expect. The first part of this tomorrow would be what I would call the thumping of snow that runs out, the snow that develops and runs out ahead of it. So by 7 a.m., these are the areas that you will see accumulations. These are Weather Service numbers. You can see 4-inch plus amounts in West Virginia, southern West Virginia, in northwestern Virginia around Harrisonburg, for example, with the 3 there, Lynchburg at 1, Roanoke at 2, 1 to 2 inches around the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area, and according to an inch or two, the leading edge of the snow, accumulating snow by 7 a.m., will have moved into western New Jersey. And then by the time we get to 1 p.m., we will have seen several inches or more. You can see those heavier amounts down to the south. Harrisonburg at 6, for example. Harrisburg in Pennsylvania at 4. Reading at 4. Philadelphia at 4. 2 to 3 inches around New York City. 1 to 2 inches over eastern Long Island and into southern Connecticut, and then on up in the Hudson Valley, about a coating to an inch or so. And then, of course, that thumping period continues as we go through the day on Thursday. By 7 p.m., we will have seen hefty accumulations. Most of the accumulations will have peaked out as you go south and west, but we start to get into some 5 and 6 inch amounts as you head up toward New York City, 3 and 4 inch amounts as you head through Connecticut and on up into Rhode Island and over eastern Long Island, and also in the Hudson Valley, some 3 to 4 inch amounts. And then, of course, we have precipitation that is going to continue Thursday night into Friday morning in some areas. Some areas are going to see this change over to sleet before it's all said and done. And these should be these are the forecast final numbers as far as the Weather Service is concerned. They're showing max amounts in eastern Pennsylvania going south and west along Route 78 and then down along Route 81, and also some 6 and 7 inch amounts as you look at the lower Hudson Valley down through central New Jersey to about 195 and points east into southeastern Massachusetts. And then we move south along the New Jersey coast. I think we're probably going to see winter weather advisories go up for those Jersey coastal counties when it's all said and done here. A couple to maybe 3 or 4 in some areas. Now, as far as my final snowfall forecast call is concerned, this is what I've come up with. And basically, I'm looking at that max band. I put in a max band here of about 6 inches. Maybe there'll be a few pockets in there that will see some higher amounts. The 4-inch line from just south of Boston to Hartford to just north of Scranton and Williamsport, and then going south and west from there. 6 will run from northern West Virginia, Harrisburg, to just north of Allentown, to just north of Bridgeport. And the southern end of that 6 will cut eastern Long Island, 195 in New Jersey, just around near or just north of Trenton, and then goes south and west of there between Washington and Baltimore. No one gets the exact spot as to where the 4-inch line versus the 3-inch line versus the 5 or 6-inch line. These are approximate estimates as far as um, where the snow accumulations are going to go. Ultimately, I always get to, well, you put me on the 6-inch line, but I only got 5.5 inches. Deal with it. Okay. So WPC is showing roughly about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, inch and a quarter of liquid out of this. I usually try to kind of go below those numbers, particularly in a situation like this where you're not really dealing with a well-developed system. This is kind of a flattish wave that is moving along. So we'll take you on the NAMS adventure here. And the models have some differences in how this is all going to play out, but I'll give you what I think is going to happen. So here comes that lead snow tomorrow morning. We are now at 5 a.m. The purple is sleet. The pinkish is freezing rain, which is going to be substantial in central and southern Virginia into northern North Carolina. Probably going to be 1/4 to a half an inch ice accretion in that area. And then we'll start to see that snow expand northward by 10 a.m. It's in southern New England, almost up to about Boston and I-90. And the darker blue, heavier snows are starting to come in around 10 or 11 in the morning in a lot of places. Down in south central, southeastern PA, you see it there. And then tomorrow evening, we are here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The NAM seems to want to bring sleet up the coast for tomorrow afternoon. A lot of the other models are slower with this and keep it snow longer. So that will impact snow amounts. I took that into account with regards to my forecast. And then tomorrow night, you've got that band of sleet running from northeastern Maryland across New Jersey, except for the north, and over Long Island. If it's a degree colder, that could be snow or it could be a mix. And then after that, there are questions. The NAM seems to want to thin the precip out and make it more blotchy going into Friday morning. The other models seem to have a more uniform look as far as the snow is concerned. Areas that are in sleet go back to snow before it ends. And then finally, we just get this all out of the way, and weather conditions should improve as we go into Friday and Saturday, although there will be snow showers going on in upstate New York, and also some snow will be continuing as we on Friday morning in New England before that finally pulls away. And then the ultimate result after that will be a dry but cold weekend. We have at least that to look forward to once this is all said and done. And just very quickly, taking a look at the weather going forward in the longer range, once this storm system pulls out, you see the GFS. This is Friday evening. It still has snow near the coast. I don't know if I want to believe that right now, that it would last that long. But either way, it gets out of the way. Very cold for Saturday into Sunday. And then we have a cold front that'll be approaching on Monday with what looks like will warm up ahead of it to get some rain showers. And then it turns colder and drier behind it. Doesn't look like we have any storms to worry about next week as the pattern is changing, and we are finally out of this pattern that we've been in for the last couple of weeks. I still think that we may have, after this break period, as we go into March, don't be shocked if we wind up going back into this wintry pattern, although once we get into March, it gets a little different with the strengthening sun every day and the slowly rising average temperatures. But nonetheless, I think we have one more hurrah after we're done, after this break period coming up. And that break period, I think, lasts about a week, maybe a little bit longer. So I'll be updating things throughout the day. And of course, tomorrow we have our Joe and Joe show coming up tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So be sure to tune in to that. OmniTrueValue.com, our sponsor here on Weather in 5 and the Joe and Joe Weather Show, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue. They've got plenty of rock salt. 631-756-1125. And they still have the best prices in town, even though there are pressures on prices right now for rock salt. And Also brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini Landscapers at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, 631-957-5106. And the website is holidaylighting.com. So in the meantime, while we wait, we've got a nice afternoon of weather with sunshine and some arriving high clouds as the day goes on. So do enjoy it, even though it is cold outside. Temperatures are having a tough time getting above the 30-degree mark. And again, Joe and Joe show tonight at 7:30 Eastern.